Question 13 states that rational numbers A and C are plotted on the number line below. So A is here, and if we count backwards from 0, we can see that if we start at 0 and go 1, 2, -3, -4, -5, -6, we know that the value of A is -6. And then C is at 2, so C is equal to 2. So these two rational numbers, A equal -6 and C equal 2, are plotted on the number line. And then it asks a question. It says, based on the number line, which statement is true? So at first, this looks like a very straightforward multiple choice question. But what it's really asking you to do is to go deeper. It's saying, look at each statement and find the one that is true. That means that 3 of these statements are false. They're not true, and only one of them is correct. So you have to look at each one and evaluate it until you find the statement that is true. So we'll start with A. Let's just start with a question. Is A true? Is this statement true? Well, how do we tell if it's true? The statement says that the value of the opposite of A minus C is positive. Well, how do we know if that's true or not? You have to substitute into that expression and see if the value or the answer is positive. So let's look at this. Remember, A is -6 and C is 2. These are the two values we will substitute into the statement. Now remember that A, or -A minus C, means the opposite, right? That's what this means. The opposite of A, take away C, or minus C. So here we go. We have -A, take away C, which is the opposite, right? So the opposite of A is a negative number. So in order to write this correctly, here's the opposite, right? The opposite of A, which is -6, minus C, which is 2. Make sure you have both negatives, because remember, taking away A, or the opposite of A, means the opposite of -6. But wait a minute, the opposite of a negative is a positive. So we can rewrite this statement. Instead of saying the opposite of -6, we can just say 6 minus 2, which equals 4. Right? The opposite of a negative is a positive, so the opposite of -6 is +6. 6 minus 2 equals 4. All right, so I've got this number. How does that help me answer the question? What was the question again? Oh yeah, let's go back up here. It says, based on the number line, which statement is true? So remember, the whole purpose of evaluating all of this was to determine, is this statement true? Well, what was the statement again? The statement is that the value of A minus, or the opposite of A minus C, is positive. Well, let's look at the value we came up with. 4. Is that a positive number? Yeah, it is. So actually, we kind of got a bonus here. We get to stop early. Kind of like getting out of school or a little bit early, right? Because the first one that we checked was true, right? Is the value positive? You bet it is. So there's only one true statement in the bunch, so we can stop here. Which statement is true? It turns out that A is the correct answer. Now, if A had not been the correct answer, you would have had to keep going. Like if this turned out to be a false statement, you would have had to check them all until you got to the one that was true. But in this case, the first one happened to be the correct answer. There's only one true statement, so I can stop there. I don't have to check the others.